Ooh, that was a beautiful bird that just flew by. Well, that's a good way to start off a video. It's been a minute since I've hopped on these devices just to, you know what I'm saying, talk and things of that nature. But moving forward in this life, so good seeds, y'all. So good seeds. Good seeds doesn't always look like um, you know, just doing the right thing just because you feel like you're getting something in return. Of course, doing the right thing, whatever you put into the universe is gonna come back to you tenfold. Feel me? Whether you put, negative intentions behind something or, you know what I'm saying, positive intentions behind something. Good things come around. Now, don't be naive. Be wise about not only what you put your energy into, but you know what I'm saying. When you do right by certain beings or certain people, make sure that you're fueling or watering plants that are actually going to be receptive to what you're giving them. You know what I'm saying? People are the same way. It's okay to have a good heart, but it's also okay to know when to use it. Everybody doesn't deserve, and this is a fact. Okay, you know how when you walk past like homeless people on the street, now it's a good thing to just give a homeless person good thing to give a homeless person $5 off the street, but because you in your head you thinking like because this is really just about situational awareness as well. But giving the nigga $5 don't mean nothing, nigga. He'll fuck around and get that $5 up for, you know what I'm saying, a peace pipe, narcotics. Like, these are just simple things that we don't really acknowledge when we come down to being good people. But at the end of the day, sowing good seeds is impeccable to just existence in peace if you want to establish it. Now I'm getting a phone call, like a scammer. But damn, they be blowing motherfuckers up for that shit. But sowing good seeds ain't always about you know, just doing good by other people. Like I said, you can do something good to the wrong person, but you can also do wrong to the right or the good person or a good person. And even good and bad in and of itself is something that is a questionable ideology. Sorry, I gotta get that stretcher in. Fuck. But doing right by people, or, you know what I'm saying, when you're sowing good seeds, because I really want people to start doing that. You know, it ain't just about fucking just doing things just because if you don't have it, then don't do it. If you're giving it to the wrong person. And I think that's why a lot of people don't necessarily reap what they sow either, because the environment that they sow their seeds in, isn't fertile soil. You can't expect to put good seeds into dry dirt or bacteria infested mud. That's why this is really not about being a good person or being a bad person either. It's about being aware. If you are aware of how you do it, then that makes a bigger difference than anything. So from what I've observed, a lot of people aren't millionaires. Or let's not say it like that. Imagine a world where everybody just had 1,000. Let's say everybody on Earth, everybody in a local area, right? Let's just say your neighborhood. And if you're black, or if you're black, of course, your neighborhood is mostly encompassed with not the most, unfortunately, and this doesn't apply to all black neighborhoods because some of us are very wealthy. But let's just say generally you're in the slums or something, and you give every one of those individuals, from the youngest of preteens up to like the oldest elderly, like everybody gets $1 million. If everybody got that same $1 million, how would that be effective? Right? And I'm not talking about any type of infrastructural financial system. I'm talking about more so if everybody just had a, they say the gas prices stayed, everything, all the monetary things in the system right now stayed the same, but everybody had $1 million in the local area. Would that change the way that a community has been orchestrated and set up? Now, let's be very practical, because this all I'm tying all this stuff in together. When you call sowing good seeds, right? Let's take that $1 million and put it in the ideology of a seed. You give everybody that seed. Not everybody is fertile. All right, not everybody's not everybody has the wisdom or the knowledge to go about using that $1 million properly. The same goes back to the analogy with the homeless individual who could possibly be using the money that you give them for disagreeable purposes. I gave $1 million, or whoever gives $1 million to an individual who basically wouldn't know how to maintain that million or even multiply it. Why would I give that person that? You see what I'm saying? Same thing goes for the homeless. Why would I give a homeless person $5 if they don't know what to do with the money properly, or the intention behind me even giving them the money? Although, I gave them that $5, I'm technically kind of responsible for what happens afterwards to an extent. But they have the responsibility of taking care of that $5. They could, hell, if they need something for the food, I'm thinking in my head, maybe they wanted food. Excuse me. Maybe they wanted to, give that $5 to somebody else who may need it more. Give them some fruits, give them some vegetables. Hell, if they eat meat, they can get them a burger or, chicken plate, anything. $5 can take you a long way if you're wise enough with using it. Being practical with what you have is also a sign of wisdom too. If you are practical in your approach to how you handle resources, because a seed is a resource. If you were to put cantaloupe seed in the ground, we use actual seeds now, you put a cantaloupe seed in the ground, a couple months later you have a bounty of cantaloupes, or that goes for anything that grows in that direction. So awareness is key when it comes down to doing what you do in this life. And sowing, let's not say good seeds, sowing wise seeds is very important. Because just because you may be good, you can fall into the place of naivete, right? something could be bad the way that we view it, but it can be for the proper purpose. Though a bad outcome could lead to a wise decision in some cases, or not even a bad outcome. Excuse me, a bad, what's the word? This language shit, boy. A bad or a seemingly negative thing could be used for a positive outcome. Just like, oh man, hunting food. You got people that hunt, but sustaining your existence is a good thing, I would believe. You got people that fucking, I ain't gotta keep talking. I don't want to talk too much. Let's say it is better. But overall, man, coming from a pure place is what it's truly about. Being genuine and real is where a lot of people get things misconstrued and misconstructed, because it's almost saying like, and this is really what it ties all into, to summarize this video. Deceivers, deceptive purposes are things that a lot of people have encouraged in life lately. People are very deceptive in their intentions. Of course, you can always, and then what's crazy about it is when it comes down to the deceptive manipulation tactics that a lot of people, even on a lower level, have put into people or done, lying, deceiving, manipulating, whether it's emotional, physical, or mental manipulation, even spiritual manipulation, things of that nature. It's always some type of, then when you come across genuine people, this, that creates a distrust amongst people as well. That's why I really do encourage you to be more, not only compassionate to people, but more just genuine and keeping it real with people, because that's something that is missing. People be afraid to be the oddball in most situations, because but if everybody is operating around you in a negative light, just because it's negative don't mean you have to be yourself. Just because it's deceptive doesn't mean you have to be a deceiver yourself. Just because somebody is just really fucked up don't mean you got to be fucked up too. So be honest about your intentions. That takes work, because it's a lot of unlearning and deprogramming to do when it comes down to interacting with individuals nowadays. And then as time progresses, as you're being honest and transparent about, what you got going on, what your intentions are, things of that nature, you should be able to discern a little bit better in who you're interacting with. Or what you're interacting with too. So I really hope this video, I know it's all over the place to an extent, but those, if you're able to connect the dots, in terms of what we got going on, that's really what it's all about, because I don't want to be coming out here and spitting a bunch of information, then just, spitting out a bunch of information that is half-assed, or or just regurgitating things that most of us have already known. We have to lay a foundation, and the lay a foundation, we got to be real. Sowing good seeds, sowing wise seeds that that are productive in nature, and that pushes forth protection and peace, rather than deception and chaos and destruction. So let's just yeah, I think I end it here. I'm gonna put this on YouTube because uh whoever views this video just views this video. I don't care to get the most likes, get the most views. Fuck all that shit. If it happens, it fucking happens. Who gives a fuck? But genuinely speaking, I'm about to hop onto this gonna hop on to something right quick. Y'all have a great one. Like I said, so wise seeds, people. Peace.